Hey guys, it's Larianne.
And Rudy.
And tonight/today, we would like to talk to you about money. Money, 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 money. Money. It's a very important discussion, but this is the disclaimer. I did not go to business school. I did not study finances. I am not a banker. I don't know money in a formal sense. So, as they say, take this with a grain of salt. I don't know if that's the right term, but you know what I mean. If you're going to take heed to my instruction and my advice or whatever it is that I'm about to say, then understand that I'm not a professional money person. I'm just a almost 24-year-old woman who's been married to this guy for almost 3 years and has been with him for 5 years. And so I understand a little bit about money, and I'd like to share with you about money because I feel like it could help some people. Okay? When we were engaged, we did marriage counseling, and our pastor at the time told us the top 2 reasons people get a divorce is 1, money, 2, sex. So, just like how everything else in a relationship needs to start during the dating stage, money kind of has to start there. But in a sense, you're not actually communicating about it openly because it's none of your business. If you two are in a dating relationship, you don't have to know how much money he gets every week. You don't have to know how much money he spent on those shoes. It is not your business. You're not his wife. Maybe you're not even talking about marriage at the time. So it's really none of your business, I think. I don't think it's any of your business. But you can obviously tell how a person handles his finances just by looking at the way he handles his finances. Like, for example, if he always has a new pair of Jordans every week, and you know that he bags groceries at ShopRite. No offense to the people who bag groceries at ShopRite, but obviously something's going on. It's either the Jordans are fake or he doesn't know how to handle his money.
Another example could be like a girl having subscriptions to a lot of different things. Pay attention to those type of things. You don't have to be really nosy, but you pay attention because when it gets time to getting engaged and then getting married, if you don't change those things, they follow you into marriage.
Definitely. Like, I was addicted to Cosmo. I think it was Cosmo Girl. I used to have stacks and stacks and stacks. Every month I'd get a magazine from them and I'd save them. Which should have probably been a hint to Rudy that something was wrong with me.
It was.
Yes.
It was. That's why we don't have them anymore.
Yeah, that was like a really big problem, and I didn't think it was a problem. I thought it was normal. But that's weird, guys. That's not normal. So moving forward, when is it that you start to ask about finances then, Larjay? Well, in my estimation, you should start talking about finances when you're planning a wedding, because you two are going to be paying for it, right? So what Rudy and I did when we became engaged, that's actually when we went to the bank and we opened up our joint account. Every paycheck that I got, there was a small percentage I would actually physically write on the back of my check. Well, not the back of the check, but the pay stub. I planned out, then I'd go to the bank, cash my check, and then deposit it into our joint account. Now that we're married, our joint account obviously still exists, but everything that we earn goes into the account. But the thing that we did that I'm not sure a lot of couples do is that we have our personal checking accounts. Meaning that we have an allowance that comes to us every week from our joint account so that we don't have to tell each other what we're doing.
It all goes to the joint account first and then gets separated into each other's accounts.
That way you're always accountable. I can't just go spend $50 on a pair of shoes using our joint account. If I wanted to do that, I'd have to have Rudy's permission because by right it's his money too. Just like how you have become one flesh, your money has become one flesh. So you gotta treat it as such. When we first got married, I was like, I want $50 a week because I know I'm gonna spend the money on clothes and stuff. Taking a look at our finances and all the bills that we had to pay, I decided it was no longer fair to our money that I was spending $200 a month on nonsense. So I was like, okay, let's cut that down to $40 a week. And we came to that agreement, and that is now what our allowance is.
And she also mentioned that, we did $50 into one account, $50 into another account. Of course, you can pick whatever limit you have. That was just a limit that we put on ourselves based on how we shop.
The purpose of the allowance is so that you have a little bit of freedom. Because a lot of the times people get married and they feel trapped. And I hate when people say that. They feel like marriage is like the end. Your life is now over. When in actuality, your life has just begun with another human being, and therefore you should find all the fun ways to enjoy it that you can. So, in summation, when you're dating, although it is none of your business how much money your partner earns, you should be paying attention to how he or she spends his or her money, because this could potentially be your future spouse. So you need to know, does he know how to pay for his bills? Is he nonchalant about everything in life? You need to pay attention to those things. When you become engaged, it's even more important that you understand each other's finances. Still not necessarily how much you make, because again, I don't think you have to know, but you need to understand that we're going to be paying for a wedding together. Whether or not you decide to have a joint account together, you still have to plan to pay for this wedding together. And then finally, when you become married, I would advise that you have a joint account, and from your joint account you can create an allowance for each other in your personal checking accounts. You have to be accountable to each other. Rudy knows that he can't spend $200 on a toy car, and I know that I can't spend $300 on a lens. A very cheap lens, I might add, because it's a joint account, and to be fair, his money and my money have become one, so therefore we can't be selfish with it. Like, oh, I want to do this, let me do this and not tell him. This all ties back to communication. You gotta communicate with each other about your finances, and that's how I truly believe that you'll be able to have a successful marriage. And if you're not married yet, that's how you're gonna have a successful future marriage. It all ties back to communication, guys. And if you haven't seen our communication videos, then you can go watch them. I'll put a little annotation thing somewhere, wherever my hand is pointing. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this little video, or maybe it's really long, I'm not sure yet. But I will see you next time, right? I hope you have a great week.